Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Megan, and today I am going to take you on a tour of our homeschool space. Notice I didn't call it a room, although we kind of do have a homeschool room, but really I probably should have said homeschool spaces, but that's what we're going to do today. I'm taking you on a tour. My name is Megan. I'm so glad you're here, and if you're new here, I am a mom of 6 kiddos. We are getting ready to start our 10th year of homeschooling, and today's video, we're just gonna dive right in here. I am in our living room. This is where the homeschooling begins. Now, homeschool is really kind of just our life. So we homeschool all over the place. And so this is where it begins though. In the mornings, we start with a morning collective. That's what I should start calling it. But it is morning time together as a family, and this is where that starts. Now, previously we were homeschooling the whole time upstairs. We had a designated homeschool room previously, but it didn't get used a lot because the lighting was really bad downstairs and there was no windows, and I don't work or function well in that kind of space. So we eventually moved upstairs, which is naturally kind of where we were drawn into this space with all the natural light and everything. And so yeah, so that's kind of the backstory there. But we are doing things different this year, because while we are still using this space, we also are moving back downstairs for a lot of our school as well. And I'll show you that space. I've been working a lot on getting it back up to snuff and everything in the way that I want it. And there's still some things that may change throughout the year, but I'm gonna turn this camera around and show you our starting space up here in our living room. There's something that actually slides behind this shelf right here that is for our All About Reading, and that is something that actually I do up here separate from our normal school time for just reasons that work better for us. But as I said, so this is our living room. We've got our couch and everything, and over here is our first section of homeschooling space. And this is kind of more so our morning basket. These are resources that we will be using for our morning time together. I have a video sharing what we're using this year for morning time, so I will put that down in the description if you're interested in that. But otherwise, this is kind of where we organize some of those things. And this over here is leftover from last year. We did Gentle and Classical Primer with one of my kiddos, and I decided to keep this because I really like this. So we are doing verse memory and catechism again this year, and so this is just a great way to just tack that up there to quickly reference. And then I also like to kind of start our day with a little bit of review. So whatever we're doing in history, I just write on an index card and tack it up there. Same with science. And it's just a great way to kind of kick off the day with reviewing and keeping things fresh. This is where I keep the All About Reading for one of my kiddos. And then these are just some different Bible resources that we reference sometimes just throughout the year. My plant died that was there. That's my only dead plant, you guys. I typically do have a green thumb, but that one died, and I just haven't replaced it. These are some read alouds we're going to be doing this year, along with some independent reads that my kids just sit around up here in the living room and read from time to time. So that's what's on that shelf. This is our community crayon box. This is just some notebooks that they just sit around and draw, whether it be during our read aloud time or just when they're hanging out on the couch during downtime. This is just random stuff. So this is just like little life cycle figurines that we're going to be using this year in our nature study. This is something that they can do to work on. It's like a dry erase times table thing that's actually pretty popular, and these are like Lincoln logs. And that's good for keeping hands busy during read-alouds if they would like. There's just some pencils and glue and scissors and random odds and ends in here that we may need, and some other books that we may reference from time to time. This is our morning time stuff. This is our On Mission magazines, our menus that have all of our morning time type things. So our hymns, our poems and passages and things like that. These are just Bible journals. And then these are some more like busy activities. So in here we have like different, I think this is the one with like different trucks and rocks and bulldozers, like things like that. And then right here is some magnet tiles, and right here is bristle blocks. So these are great just to keep on hand, to keep hands busy while, like I said, we're doing read-alouds and things like that, especially with the varying ages of my kids. And this looks like a mess, and it kind of is, but there's a method to the madness. It is all kinds. This is all kinds of just like coloring books and scrap paper and stuff that they can do whatever with. So here in the living room, we also have a hallway closet that I have actually used to store some different homeschooling type items in. So most of our board games are downstairs, but these are more like the educational type ones. There's also a puzzle in here, and this is all picture books and various books that we may or likely will utilize this year for school, whether it be like a historical fiction type book or whatever. I pulled them all and I put them on this shelf so I don't have to go looking through all of my bookshelves as the year is progressing. I have it all here, and it fits into the time period of history that we're studying this year. So a few other things that I have, which actually I need to take this downstairs. We use this for spelling sometimes, but this is actually a box that has a bunch of magnetic letters and a board that's magnetic that goes with it. I like to use this to have them just practice doing their spelling words instead of just traditionally writing their spelling words. It's more tactile, so it connects in their brain a little better. In here we have more puzzles and activities, as well as games like bananagrams and a couple of card games. And then right here we have boxes with craft supplies. Lots and lots and lots of craft supplies. And I just keep these here because that's something I let my kids kind of have free reign over within like boundaries. They really like to make crafts, and so they just make like random things a lot of times, and they'll just ask if they can. That's a good thing to do during read aloud time, is just to let them quietly craft and kind of come up with different things. Okay, so those are the upstairs areas and organization, I guess. My type of organization, I suppose, for our homeschool. But I'm gonna take you guys downstairs, which is where we will do the majority of the actual like school subjects. I do want to take a second and say this is a collaboration with a few of my friends. I will stick links to their channels down in the description, so make sure that you head over and check out their homeschooling spaces as well. Nobody's homeschool space looks the same. Make it work for your family. That's my biggest advice. But the hope is that these videos kind of help you figure out what type of organization or setup might work best for your family. Okay, so I'm gonna take you on a tour of our homeschool space. And we had our first day of school down here today. So there's a few things out of place, but that doesn't really matter. I'm just gonna show you what we're working with down here. So this is our basement, and we got new lighting down here, so it's much brighter. It feels like you're outside, and it kind of inspired me to want to move our like more like independent type subjects down to this area. And we're homeschooling all 6 kids now officially. So this is what we're working with. So this table I got from someone in our co-op. It used to be a library table, and we were using an old dining room table down here, but I love the round table. It just fits better. And so we have that here, and this is like my favorite homeschool purchase, basically. I bought it 2 or 3 years ago, I think. I don't know, but I love this thing. It's my favorite. And so this is our community supplies. We've done separate individual supplies, and they always, yeah, no. We just keep them all in the middle and return them there. Over here is my cart, and on here are just things, quick grab, stapler, a hole punch. This is just kind of my stuff, like things that I'm going to be utilizing this week, or like curriculum add-ons and unit studies and things like that. Little, like we'll be using some of these maps. And then this is we're kind of doing like a reading group thing with 3 of my kids that are on close to the same reading levels. And so we started with this and just some different resource books. This right here is actually one of those file things. I have this. This is our history separated by weeks, like the sheets that go with our history. On this shelf, we have some resources and curriculum for our science, as well as any kind of like little sticky tack stuff, clips, math things right here. They live on the shelf here. And then the bottom is our history resources. These are our memory cards, like our different like timeline and memory cards. Then up here, everybody is using a binder this year to organize their different subjects and stuff, because we have a lot of curriculum this year that is in PDF format, and so it's just all organized in here. This is their grammar and writing and things like that. So each kiddo, except for my youngest, has like their own little bin here with all of their stuff. And you can see somebody didn't put all their stuff up. This is just some random art supplies and construction paper, like resources. Like they use this for spelling, like to practice their spelling. It's a little keyboard, pop it, and they can spell their words on there, so it's tactile. Some clipboards. Down here are some quiet activities that they can do while they're waiting for me to work with them. That's just some maps we're going to use later on. And this is also some quiet activity stuff. We've got like a field guide to knots, so they can practice doing those. Just some various books for the younger kiddos that are organized. Like this is all like Christmas and fall and things like that. And yeah. And then down here we have a few reference books right here in case they need a dictionary or something like that. Also, I have obviously some puzzles up here that they can do if they're waiting. This is just some extra curriculum and a book that's waiting here. And in here, I have a lot of teacher's manuals, and I just keep them all in here, and I just pull them out whenever I need them. And then moving over here, we obviously have a dry erase board if we need it. And this is a lot of the stuff for my 2 youngest kiddos. They're doing My Father's World Kindergarten. They're going to be working through that together. And then over here is a lot of our books and things like that, and curriculum that is not currently in use. So down here we have science. There's science up above. This is like series like Little House and Anne of Green Gables. And this is all Bible resources, IEW, and language arts. More language arts and art and music curriculum. This is all just like different picture books and early readers. And then this is just different chapter books. We have several bookcases upstairs in the office that are actually really full of just read alouds as well, like just chapter books. This is kind of organized by history. by the era of history that it's from. So pretty much, so we start here. We've got like ancient and medieval. Not all of it's down here. Some of it's on those shelves I mentioned that are in the office. I pulled almost all of it off that goes with early modern history. So all that's right here and down here is modern history. And again, there's more of those that are upstairs in the office as well. And then down here is history curriculum that is not currently in use. Now, this year, what I'm using this for is all of our Christian Light curriculum. So, for example, I'm not starting learning to read with my youngest daughter until probably a couple of months from now. And there's just different levels of different things like language arts, reading, math that just currently are not in use that I am storing in here. So that's what that is, along with like the different flashcards and things like that. So we do have a TV down here that if we ever need to utilize it, we can. Otherwise, it always stays off unless my boys have a weekend where they get to have some video game time. Then over here, this is something that I added. This used to be my desk in the office, but I have my husband's old desk now. And so now I'm kind of utilizing this as just another work area. If somebody needs to have like some quiet work time, they can come over here. There's also like some audiobooks and different music CDs and things like that if they want to listen to music. I actually have a lot of kids that enjoy doing that. And sometimes they're going to be assigned to do a, some of my kids are going to be assigned to do a draw right now activity to kind of act as handwriting, but also correspond with our history. So that is something that they'll be assigned to do independently so they can work in this space to get that done. It's also where our awesome pencil sharpener is. I've had this thing for years now and it's never gone kaput on me. And then just some supplies that will stay over here. So like I said, this is downstairs. This is in our basement, and this is just kind of like a pan around the room. Over here is like a toy area, and this is all Legos, my boys' Lego stuff. It's a little messy over there just because they were playing in it earlier today and didn't clean the whole thing up. And so that is our homeschooling space down here in the basement. And these walls will be filled up with all kinds of like artwork and activities and things like that here pretty soon. I just didn't want to put a bunch of stuff on the wall and not have space for their creations. So that is our space. So I hope you guys enjoyed that little tour of our homeschool spaces. Make sure to check out the playlist to see the other girls' rooms as well to get some ideas there. And I will see you guys on future videos. Thanks so much, guys, and have a blessed day.